Cyberpunk, a game I was excited for years. As somebody who grew up with open world RPGs, the idea of Cyberpunk was nothing short of a dream to me. When I tell you I was excited for this game, I mean I was excited for this game. I probably spoke about it every day for years. I watched all the footage, read all the information, saw every single piece of gameplay probably 100 times over. I was convinced that Cyberpunk 2077 would become my absolute favourite game of all time. And then it released. A little fun fact, Cyberpunk is the last game I ever pre-ordered. I now have a rule for myself to never pre-order any more games. I pre-ordered Cyberpunk, Fallout 76 and The Last of Us Part 2, so you can imagine how much pre-orders have kicked me in the teeth. Like, I'm not even gonna pre-order Starfield, guys. That's how bad pre-orders have been for me. If I wasn't getting Starfield on Game Pass day one, I may have broken my rule, but nonetheless, I was not happy with Cyberpunk's release, especially when you consider the fact I first played Cyberpunk on my PS4, and honestly, Cyberpunk should have never been released on the PS4 or Xbox One. I think personally they should have delayed the game yet again, and only put it out for PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and obviously on PC too. I don't think I've ever been so angry with a game's release. It takes a lot for a video game to make me actually mad, but I was real mad when I first played Cyberpunk. I mean, I felt lied to. None of the footage was anything like the actual game. So many things that CD Projekt Red promised weren't in the game. The bugs were practically endless, and it honestly felt like they never even tested the game on consoles. So I put in about 10 hours of Cyberpunk before I quit and just couldn't take it anymore. I planned to pick the game back up in about a year's time when it was hopefully fixed, and I just never did. I think I just had such a hate for this game because of having such a bad experience for the first time. I think a part of me deep down didn't even want to give Cyberpunk a second chance. The release hurt so bad, I felt cheated and lied to, so much so that I just never wanted to see the game again, much like my relationship with my ex-girlfriend. And then, a few nights ago, I was talking to a friend on Discord and he tells me he's been playing and, get this, enjoying Cyberpunk. So I started googling, looking at what's changed, reading about the new DLC that's apparently coming out, and all of the rest of it. So I thought, okay, you know what, I still have the game on my PlayStation account. I know it gives you a free PS5 upgrade, so let me test the game out again. And you know what, honestly, I expected to play it for about 45 minutes and think, nah, this is still bad, it's still not what was promised, and just delete it and never touch it again. And I've got to be honest with you guys, I've basically been playing for the last 3 days straight. This game is good now. Look, it's still not the game that CD Projekt Red promised, and I don't think it ever will be, especially when you consider that not too long ago, CD Projekt Red said that they were done with the DLCs after the next one, but I'm enjoying the hell out of it. I'm about halfway through Act 2, I'd say, so no spoilers please. I somehow managed to avoid all of the spoilers for this game. And the game is still buggy, I'm not going to deny that. I've had to look up how to fix about 9 or 10 or maybe even 11 different quests in the case of like 10 hours, which is ridiculous. But the majority of the game does work. The updated graphics and frame rate I think have made a massive difference to the gameplay side of things too. And it just feels so good to finally be able to play and enjoy this game that I was practically fondling myself over, and just say I'm enjoying it. And as I already said, it isn't the game we were promised, and yeah, that sucks. There's a lot missing. No tattoo shops to change your tats or get more. No vehicle customization even. Just small things like that I think are massively missing from this game, and I really hope that they are added soon, because I'm kind of addicted to this game now. I still think the driving is really bad, at least with most cars and motorbikes. There have been a couple of cars I've driven around and thought it's still not great, but this feels better, if that makes sense. Maybe it's because the only other game I play with drivable cars is GTA, so maybe I'm just kind of used to that. But being able to finally walk and drive around this city, meet these cool characters, do the fun quests, buy new cars, buy new apartments even, actually see the lore and stories, have fun leveling up instead of thinking, damn, if I get this perk I might break the game. It just feels so good, like I'm so happy that I can finally say I'm enjoying Cyberpunk. Just last night I made a secondary playthrough focused on a katana, melee and throwable knives build, like a samurai ninja playthrough. It's not like I've just been running through this game, I've been taking it slow and hell, just taking in all of the side quests and looking around at the gorgeous city, finding cool items and gear and all the other stuff. This game is seriously great now. And look, I still don't think it's worth £60 or however much this game is selling for right now, but I don't think any game is worth that much. I think video games are way too expensive nowadays, and so many people miss out on really awesome games simply because they can't afford to buy them, but hey, that's a video for another time. So to answer the title question, yes, Cyberpunk is good now. I'd even argue great. I am going to put this video in my game reviews playlist, which means we've got to go over buy, wait for sale or avoid, and I'm going to give it a wait for sale. As I just said, I still don't think it's worth its asking price, but I don't feel that way with the vast majority of games, so it's very rare that you will see me give a buy it now for a game. Look, in order to not make this a long ass video, yes, Cyberpunk is great now, and if you're thinking about getting back into it or checking it out for the first time, now is definitely the time to do that. Now look, if you're going back into this expecting everything we were originally promised, you're gonna be disappointed still. It's still not perfect, there are still plenty of things missing, like I already mentioned, there's still a lot of bugs, mostly from getting quests to start and from driving, at least from what I've experienced after putting in around 25 hours into the game. But on the positive side, I haven't crashed once, I haven't seen any major game breaking bugs that couldn't be fixed with a quick how to fix this Google. The combat is 1,000 times better, probably due to the updated FPS, nobody's T-posing, vehicles aren't blowing up from getting a little dent and nobody's driving through walls, and it is an overall fun experience now. As I said, if you've been debating getting back into the game or picking it up for the first time, now is the time, at least in my opinion. Again, if you are buying the game for the first time, I would recommend waiting for a sale, but that is pretty much all I have to say. I'm super happy I'm finally enjoying this game. Lastly, before we wrap up, I have made a Discord, so if you want to join the channel's Discord, check out the invite link in the description below. And of course, if you did enjoy today's video, please do drop it a like, it really does help out smaller channels like myself more than you can imagine. And hey, if you enjoy open world RPGs such as Fallout, Elder Scrolls, Starfield, Outer Worlds, you name it, whatever it is, consider subscribing because we cover news for all of that kind of stuff around here. Anyway, that is going to do it for me today. As always, thank you all for watching, and I really hope to see you in the next one.